were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of
A capacity crowd at the Capitol Center once again this evening, 18,130 on hand. It's the 22nd sellout of the season for the Washington Capitals. Let's meet today's officiating crew. Here is Dennis Morrell. He'll be refereeing. The linesmen are Wayne Bonney and Gord Brosiker. Starting in goal for the New York Islanders will be Mark Fitzpatrick, who was obtained in that trade with the Los Angeles Kings that involved Kelly Hrudey going to Los Angeles. 2-3-2, 8 games, 30 goals against, a 4.03 average, no shutouts. Jeff Hackett will back him up. Don Beaupre goes for the Capitals, 4-3-0 in 9 games with 17 goals against, 1 shutout and a 2.23 average. Pete Peters is backing up today. We're underway and the puck thrown back inside the Islanders zone and it's cleared off the sideboards by Norton and sent out to center ice. Now chased back inside the Washington end, and here is Scott Stevens to get it. Leads it out to Mike Ridley. Ridley works to center ice over on the right wing side for Kelly Miller. He goes into the corner and is bumped on the play by Randy Wood. But Miller stays with it, tries to work it out in front of the net, and it's swept off the boards and all the way down the ice back into the Washington zone. There's no icing. Kevin Hatcher is back to get it and starts out as both the Capitals and the Islanders change up the lines here early, just 40 seconds into this game. Hatcher over to Scott Stevens. Now outside the line, it's taken away and cleared back into the Washington zone by Dave Bollock. Scott Stevens takes it in behind the net. Right side pass comes out to Courtnall and in across the blue line. Throws it in behind the net. Here's Dale Henry dumping it back inside the Washington zone. Rod Langway clears off the sideboards. It's kept inside the Washington zone. Langway back again to tie up Dale Henry. Now it's cleared back to the point and skitters outside the line. And it's grabbed there by Brent Sutter. We're just underway with the game, no score. 18:25 to go here in the first period. Langway tosses it back inside the Islander end. Brent Sutter for New York. Out to Dale Henry on the left wing. Tied up in the corner by Bob Rouse, and Dale Hunter sends it along over to Calle Johansson outside the line and grabbed there by Dale Henry. He puts it back in the Washington zone. Beaupre leaves it behind the net. Here's Rouse ahead for Dino Ciccarelli. Now to Gustafson across the blue line. Gustafson, a pass for Christian, and he's swept away. Ciccarelli has been knocked down in front of the net by Diddick. There's a delayed penalty call coming up. Here's Ciccarelli charging in, and a backhand shot is blocked. And as Diddick plays the puck, the whistle blows. A minor penalty against the New York Islanders, called by referee Dennis Morrell, and it's going to be 2 minutes coming at the 2:22 mark of the first period for hooking. There's a break in the action, no score.
This year, if you really want to get money back, listen to Henry Block.
Go to Subaru.
Up to $1,500 cash back or 4.9 APR financing.
Of all the Subarus registered since 1978, 92% are still on the road, which could mean this four-wheel drive Subaru will still be good on a hill when other cars are over it.
Penalty call coming at 2:22 of the first period, and Derek King gets the gate for hooking. Here's how it happened.
Well, this was before. This happens afterwards. Diddick knocks on Ciccarelli. This takes place before that as Ciccarelli was making a move into the zone. Derek King was trying to pick him up as his check and just spun him to the ice.
Power play hockey for Washington. The Capitals 9th in the league with a man advantage. And here's a wrist shot that's deflected up high off the glass. Washington 21% of the time scoring on the power play. The Islanders 20th in the league at killing them off, 74%. The puck cleared out of the zone and sent all the way back inside the Washington end. Boy, John Beaupre sure looks like Clint Malarchuk with that mask. It's an identical style of mask, a little different paint job on it, but resembles Malarchuk quite a bit with his face mask. But Beaupre is the goalkeeper for the Capitals today. Here's Gustafson having it taken away by Randy Wood. He charges in behind the goal, tries to wrap it around, and that play broken up, and here comes Chris Felix. Felix out to center. Gets across the line with Courtnall. Charges in on the right wing side. He's hit in the corner, and the puck is cleared all the way down the ice back into the Washington zone. Still 55 seconds to go in the penalty call to Derek King of New York. The Capitals have the man advantage. Calle Johansson skates across the blue line. Has the pass stolen now by Norton, and he clears it out of the zone to center ice. Captain Brent Sutter chasing Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher deeps his way to the blue line. Volek breaks it up. And now Sutter loses it to Hunter. Hunter passes all the way back into the Washington end, and only 25 seconds left now in the Capitals power play. Here's Mike Ridley. Ridley stick handles to the blue line, gets met by the forechecking of Volek, knocked to the ice. Islanders change up on the fly as the Capitals come in one more time, and here's Johansson out to center ice. To Hatcher, left side pass. Ridley to the blue line of New York. Right side for Ciccarelli. Penalty about to end. Into the corner, here comes LaFontaine, has it taken away, and he starts back. A lead pass for Derek King. King back into the corner. Now inside the Washington zone, it's stolen. Out comes Dino Ciccarelli. He feeds to Wickenheiser. Drop pass Ciccarelli to Hunter. Hunter has it dripped off his stick, and it's outside the zone to center ice. Now the Islanders dump it back inside the Washington end, and it bounces off the head of Doug Wickenheiser, knocking his helmet off. And play has been called with 15-17 to go here in the first period of play.
Wickenheiser, I think, ran into Richard Pilon of the New York Islanders and also helped dislodge that helmet.
Citizens Bank of Maryland, with over 100 branch offices throughout the state. That's Citizens Bank of Maryland.
Still scoreless, and the penalty call over to Derek King. Here's Rouse to Langway. Leads it ahead. Too far for Kelly Miller. Dumps it back inside the Islander zone. Played up the sideboards, and Kevin Stevens out for a shift now for New York. The brother of Scott Stevens of the Capitals. Or rather, Mike Stevens. Mike Stevens, the younger brother of Washington's Scott Stevens. Neither are related to Kevin, who plays with Pittsburgh. Here's Rouse to start out. Right wing side now for Sundstrom. He sprints to center ice and dumps it across the line. Back inside the Islander zone. Wayne McBean in to throw a hit. Puck cleared, but Peter Sundstrom keeps it in. Now Sundstrom stripped up, and McBean takes it away and bounces it out of the zone to center ice. Dumped back inside the Capitals end by Mick Vukota, former Capitals farmhand. Now thrown back to Bob Rouse. Sundstrom tying up LaFontaine. The puck loose along the sideboard. Now grabbed by Sundstrom, and he steers to center ice. Jeff Norton again dumps it back into the Washington zone. Wickenheiser back to play it. Tosses it over to Bob Rouse. Puck cleared the length of the ice. Norton's back for it, but no icing called. Derek King grabs the pass on the left wing board. Moves out to center. Trades passes with Nyland. The long shot glove by Beaupre. Back to Scott Stevens. Hit by Derek King. Alan Kerr tries to tie up Gustafson. Gus gets free. Works the center ice for Christian. He's across the line to Ciccarelli. A slap shot and a pad save made by Fitzpatrick. He was able to hold that one right between those goalie pads to stop play.
All Giants offer checkout coupons. Coupons based on what you purchase, so there's a greater chance you'll get a coupon you can really use. Checkout coupons, another way to save at Giant. Big Mark Fitzpatrick a little bit over 6 feet 1 inch tall. There's a kind of aggressive stand-up style. And Fitzpatrick gets it with the pads. Dino Cicerelli hopes that there's an opening there. With big goaltenders, you normally get a little of that. Cicerelli just unloads the drive, and Fitzpatrick squeezes it between the goaltender pads.
The draw clear to the point. It skims off the skate blade of Hatcher out to center, and now Scott Stevens is back after it. Dumps it back inside the Islander zone. Rich Pilon to the corner, held up by Kelly Miller. Jammed up on the play, and here goes Mike Ridley trying to work free, but Fitzgerald ties him up. Now back into the corner again, and Mike Ridley. Tom Fitzgerald right on him, wearing number 59 for New York. Kelly Miller gets the pass. He's knocked to the ice. Here's a shot. Save is made by Fitzpatrick, and he holds on. And now Fitzgerald comes in to make sure that Ridley doesn't get any closer to that Islander goal.
Well, Brian Murray certainly was correct about the New York Islanders coming out and being very feisty, but I think he's got to be happy with what he's seen from this team, really trying to put pressure on the New York Islanders, and the Caps succeeding. Fitzgerald doing some work out there with Mike Ridley, and Fitzpatrick getting the save. Al Arbour has got a lot of young players out there trying to mix and match with some veterans, guys still trying to fight for jobs like Randy Wood, Alan Kerr, talk about their future, and they see the young players that have been brought up from Springfield, and everybody's getting a chance. Wide open situation on the New York Islanders. I guess maybe the biggest question is, will Al Arbour be back to guide these young players next season?
Chris Felix keeps it inside the line. Into the corner. Sutter sends it up the boards and out to center ice. Rod Langway back after it. Taken now by Sutter to Volek. Walking in, his wrist shot wide to the corner. Dale Hunter over after it. Now to Langway. Tips it back into the corner. Felix in to tie up Sutter. Langway throws ahead on Volek and holds him. Felix keeping Sutter from going anywhere along the sideboards. Hunter comes in, tries to work it free, gives a cross check to Volek. Out comes the puck. Here comes Langway to center ice. Cortnall has it taken away, and Diddick throws it all the way down back into the Washington zone. Langway swoops in to grab it behind the net and clears out to center ice. Hard hit thrown by Nyland. And out comes Bruce to center ice. Sends it back inside the New York zone. No score, 12 minutes to go here in the first period.
He threw it at me.
In the corner, there's a tie-up. Wickenheiser's got the stick up high, held there with Gary Nyland. But the whistle is already blown. Play is called, and we'll have a face-off in the New York Islander zone.
Nice play by Wickenheiser coming from behind that net. Quick wrap-around attempt. Gets it in the skates of Mark Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick holds it for the face-off. You'll see Doug Wickenheiser had plenty of ice time today again, even though he is dressed. Even though most of the other centers are dressed, I should say. Wickenheiser's going to get plenty of ice time to try and give Bengt Gustafsson a bit of a working vacation. Not have Gus get as much ice time as he normally would. You'll certainly be out there on the power play, killing penalties every once in a while, but here's Doug Wickenheiser plenty of ice time coming down the stretch.
Here's Nick Vukota to drive it back inside the Washington zone, and Beaupre holds it back of the net. Puck cleared out to center ice. Nyland headmans the puck. Then across the line comes Walsh, cutting in, and is held up by Johansson at the side of the net. Mike Walsh checked on the play, but Beaupre loses his stick in the process. He goes back to it. Wickenheiser throws to the net. Off an Islander stick. It hit Nyland's stick and rose right up into the shoulder of the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick. Puck cleared back inside the Washington zone, and Rouse finds a willing opponent in Nick Vukota, who came in and started to push and shove, and Rouse pulled his helmet off. Now the play is called offside, and Vukota and Rouse start to come together once again. But I'll tell you, that hit that was just thrown there between Rouse and Vukota was nothing compared to the one downstairs on one of our home team sports cameramen, Phil Frizaka.
Yeah.
Got belted right in the penalty box, and he ended up being knocked against the back glass behind that penalty bench.
Here's that replay. As you see, it goes off the stick of Nyland up into the face. Get on that face shield. The cage of Mark Fitzpatrick. You're right about the hit Phil Versacatuk. Sent him flying. Got right back up. Back in duty.
It's called in your lens. I don't know what colors he saw coming, but there were certain to be a whole spectrum of them once he got up. After the hit, Diddick goes to the corner, and Gustafson's back to chase him. No score. 10:40 to play here in the first period. Both teams at full strength. Only one minor penalty called so far, that against the Islanders. Here's a shot on net. Fitzpatrick makes the save. Hatcher tries to keep it inside the line, but Garrett King steals, clears to the point. Christian a shot, and a save made by Fitzpatrick, and he covers the puck to stop play. That's Washington's 7th shot on goal. The Islanders have one shot on the Washington net. Let's check in downstairs for an update on what's going to happen out of town. Here's Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. A busy day here on our home team sports schedule here on this late Sunday afternoon. Vancouver ahead of Winnipeg now by 3. That's the second period score. And as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned, Illinois beat Syracuse. They advance to the Final Four. And Duke now ahead of Georgetown by 6. The Hoyas continue to struggle in the NCAA tournament. Next Saturday, our final regular season telecast here. The New Jersey Devils are in town. And as far as the Capitals' home starts in the playoffs, next a week, Wednesday and Thursday, games 1 and 2 of the Patrick Division semifinals. We don't know who the Caps' opponent will be, but you'll catch it right here on Home Team Sports. Back upstairs.
All right, Jeff. Mike Ridley digs in behind the net. Pretty good checking job done on him, but the very last bit of holding is going to send Tom Fitzgerald to the penalty box. And Washington will have the game's second power play. Holding is the call at 9:45 of the first period.
The New York Islanders certainly love what they've seen from Tom Fitzgerald. Former #1 draft choice of the Islanders back in 1986, played at Providence College. Had an outstanding season in Springfield, and the Islanders were a little bit hesitant to bring him up because he was enjoying such a good season. But you can see this is the type of player he is. Very strong, aggressive player. Tenacious forechecker, tenacious checker, because a little too much of Mike Ridley. There he's fine. Body him, and then as soon as you get that arm on and then lift Ridley up, that's what's going to get the call. Give the Caps the second power play of the afternoon.
Scott Stevens working the center ice. Up to Dale Hunter. Now gets it across the blue line. Has Pilon right on him. Centers. It's cleared all the way to the point. Scott Stevens keeps it in to Felix. Over now to Ridley. Ridley walks in. Centers. It goes to the corner. And here's Stevens trying to center right in front of shot. And Ciccarelli was robbed on that play as Mark Fitzpatrick managed to make the stop and then covered the rebound in a big hurry.
8 shots on goal for the Capitals, just 1 for the Islanders. Here's a great scoring chance, and this is Dino Ciccarelli's meat. But what a great save from Fitzpatrick. See how quickly Ciccarelli gets that shot off, has the stick right down on the ice. As soon as the puck gets to him, he's able to snap it away. But Fitzpatrick uses his size and that quickness, sticking out the right leg to rob Ciccarelli.
1:27 still left to go on the Islander penalty to Tom Fitzgerald. That came for holding. 9:42 left here in the first period. No score. First of a home-and-home series between the Capitals and the Islanders. Two teams go at it again at the Nassau Coliseum on Tuesday evening. Here's a shot wide of the New York net. Chased by Mike Ridley into the corner. Ridley brings it back to Hunter. He centers in front of shot. And a save off the inside of the leg pad of Mark Fitzpatrick. I don't think he stopped that one. I think it hit him. It'll count just as well, and here comes Ciccarelli to center ice. To Ridley across the line. Looks for Ciccarelli, but LaFontaine pokes it free. Now it's cleared off the boards to the point. Kevin Hatcher keeps it in. He gives to Ciccarelli. Dino Ciccarelli walks it in behind the goal to Hunter. Hunter on the Washington power play. Now back to Scott Stevens. And that's quickly thrown all the way down the ice by Gerald Diddick. Kevin Hatcher out to center ice. Drives it back into the Islander zone. Courtnall will pick it up. Back to the point. Kept in by Johansson. Into Courtnall in the corner. 7 seconds left on the power play. Here's a pass for Courtnall. It's intercepted by Sutter and cleared all the way down. And back goes Calle Johansson to take it. Off the stick of Gustafson to center ice. Picked up at the red line by Johansson. Islanders at full strength. Into the corner. Courtnall goes to take it. Spun off the sideboards. Gustafson hit by Nyland. The puck still loose in the corner. And now Gustafson brings it out. He passes over onto the skates of Johansson. Tries to bring it back to Gustafson. And Nyland recovers for New York. Islanders with just 1 shot on goal. Washington has 9. Here's Jeff Dorton inside the Washington zone. Johansson blocks it with his skate. Wickenheiser clears the center. Slapped right back in now by Rick Pilon. Lou Francischetti out there for Washington. Return back to the Capital zone. Johansson to chase it. Up to Sundstrom. Off the skate of Wickenheiser. Now grabbed by Hatcher and a slap shot wide of the New York net. Here's Pilon trying to clear it out. Intercepted pass. Disarella. Another Francischetti goes up high, but a shoulder save made by the goalkeeper, Fitzpatrick. Back from the Islanders. Rod Langway takes it away from Mike Walsh. Breaks across the blue line, left wing, a slap shot, and a glove save made by Fitzpatrick. There's a break in the action with the score. Capitals nothing, Islanders nothing.
An 89 Geo Metro is just $117 a month. An 89 S10 pickup is just $132 a month. An 89 Cavalier is just $137 a month. Where? At All Stars Chevrolet in Elkridge. Convenient from everywhere. All Stars beats buying services, fleet prices, and credit unions. Fact is, if you can buy it cheaper anywhere else, buy it.
6:48 left to play in this first period. We are still scoreless thanks to some great work by a young goaltender. Big glove save to Rob Langway. He's been kicking out the pads, getting the gloves, shoulders, stopping things with his face mask. 11 shots the Capitals have poured on Fitzpatrick, and he's turned all to the side.
Islanders start out once again, full strength. And here's a long lead pass that goes too far for LaFontaine. Beaupre over after it. He sends it up the boards to the point. Christian gets it out of the zone to center. Derek King moves it ahead to center ice, and LaFontaine on the right wing, bumped by Langway. LaFontaine shoves it into the corner. Alan Bird sized up by Rouse. Rouse checks him on the backboard. Gustafson over to Christian. Christian dekes his way in behind the goal, passes to Langway. Down to the zone to center ice, Louise some pressure. 11 Washington shots on goal. New York Islanders with just 1. Suddenly now they're keeping the Capitals in the Washington end. Here's Langway to Christian. Right side off the skate of Rouse to center. Pilon throws it across the line for Kerr, bounces it on net. Beaupre makes the save. Mike Ridley overtaken on the play. Derek King passes to the side of the net. Kerr has it taken away by Rouse. Steered up the right wing boards, and here comes Mike Ridley to center out. Dino Ciccarelli across the line. Can't get past Pilon. McBean turns it around now for New York. Lead pass to center here, and that's going to bounce all the way back into the Washington zone. Hatcher's back to take it. Icing is the call. 5 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the first period of play. You know, the Islanders missing Ken Morrow from their lineup. You've got guys like Gerald Didick, who were very young players just a couple of seasons ago. Now they're the veterans on this Islander club.
Really are. It's going to be strange not to see the Islanders in the playoffs though this year, won't it? You can get your playoff tickets if you want to get out to the first 2 games the Capitals will have here at the Cap Center, the 5th and 6th of April. Give Phone Charge a call right now, 432-0200. Area code 301 in front of that number if you're calling from out of town. Tickets for games A and B. Phone Charge will sell them to you, or pick them up at any Ticket Center outlet or all heads.
Ken Morrow scratched from the lineup from tonight's game, along with Ryan Trottier, who's had a bit of an injury. Bill Berg also missing from the New York lineup. as a scratch. Here's a shot on net and a save by Beaupre. New York's third shot on goal of this period. Islanders have names like Galgarno, Flatley, Schnauf, and Lauer all out because of injury. Mentioned earlier the Washington scratches. Gould, Sheehy, Leach, and Kleinendorf not playing for the Capitals. Calle Johansson leads it ahead to Kelly Miller. He gets across the line. Ridley bumped on the play. The Islanders start out. Mackel to the center ice. Now to Randy Wood. He skips across the blue line, tries to deke around Johansson, and the shot goes on goal from Sutter. Beaupre makes the save. Now the puck cleared, and it goes too far for Miller. It's all the way down the ice, back into the Islander zone. Here's the icing. And there's the whistle. Goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick wisely let that one go, knowing that as soon as Bergevin came back to touch it, the whistle would blow and play would be stopped. Well, suddenly things have gotten a little busier at the other end of the ice down here for Don Beaupre.
That's because the Islanders, are trying to push the attack, pitching in with their defenseman a little bit. Diddick in particular. Here's a guy who really, I think, is having by far the best season of any of their blue liners. He's the only defenseman with a plus, leads the team in plus-minus at +6. He's having a strong year offensively with 10 goals, dipped in with 20 assists. I think he really has kind of risen to fill some of the void left by the retirement of Dennis Potvin. I think they're a little disappointed in the power play production from Jeff Norton. Diddick has really been a plus for him. The other guy I like on this team is Pilon. Every time I see Richard Pilon play, he is tough. Hits anything that moves. He is not that big, but he's relentless with it.
Did a good job of holding up Cicerelli on that last rush, didn't he? Pilon is wearing number 47. Here he goes to the corner after the puck, and it's another icing call against Washington. Jeff Rimmer telling us about that Vancouver-Winnipeg game. Howard Chuck got his 39th for the Jets. With Vancouver on top of them, 4-1 after the second period. Pittsburgh and the Rangers, Calgary and Chicago, both tonight. How about those Flyers? March right up there and take on the Rangers.
They look just the way the Capitals did against them. They came out and dominated from the opening faceoff against the New York Rangers.
Sure helped Washington's chances.
Well, it could be a hell of a series if the Caps face it.
Centering pass broken up, and Dale Henry jammed up in the corner. Chris Felix' helmet is taken off. He plays the puck and gets it outside the line. Here's Courtnall, back to Chris Felix. He's across the blue line, led ahead for Hunter into the corner. Elon toppled to the ice, the puck played back to the point. Scott Stevens keeps it in, leg save made by Fitzpatrick. He extended the left pad to stop that one. Now Volek, a high drive off the glass. Out comes Courtnall to center. He's across the blue line. Back to the point for Bob Rouse. Rouse into the corner for Hunter. Scott Stevens, a slap shot, bouncing in between the pads of Fitzpatrick, and he holds on. And now Courtnall gets roughed up right in the goal crease by New York's Dale Henry, and reaches back for some more. They all push the netting all the way back to the backboard. See if any penalties come out of this. I think so. There's a break in the action with the score. The Capitals nothing, and the Islanders nothing.
After all those meetings in Minneapolis and conventions in Kansas City, we think you could use a little change of pace. And after 40,000 miles in TWA's frequent flyer program, that's just what you get. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. Even before you get on the plane, our in-flight service manager is working to make you comfortable.
There'll be a child traveling alone in row 18, and we'll need a vegetarian meal in row 10. And Tony, make sure we have enough...
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
The lone call of that exchange belongs to the Islanders' Dale Henry. A roughing call at 17:02 as he unnecessarily popped Jeff Courtnall in the head. You see Courtnall in position around the front of that net. It's Bob Rouse who's down there, who gets the deflection. Again, bangs off the legs of Fitzpatrick. He covers up. Now there goes Courtnall. Watch Henry. Boom. Little shot with the butt end of the stick and the glove to the face of Courtnall. Certainly not needed in that situation as he was completely out of the play. The whistle had blown. Give the Capitals a third power play opportunity.
Ben Gustafson leans in to work the draw. Sutter over to Wood. Chased by Gustafson, but Wood swings and throws it rink wide. Johansson hustles over to keep it in. Back to Cicerelli. Off the boards to the point for Ben Gustafson. Now to Hatcher. To Dave Christian. Christian walks in, passes to Gustafson. At the point, Hatcher trading passes with Gustafson. He starts toward the net. Here's a pass, and it's deflected up into the seats.
Islanders right now playing a very tight, disciplined box, not giving the Capitals many passing lanes. Johansson tried to sneak in behind the play from that left point. Jeff Norton stuck his stick out to prevent the Gustafson cross-ice pass from getting through.
Talking with Jim Christensen, supervisor of officials before the game tonight, he was telling me the next thing they're going to start cracking down on, he hopes, is what is going on around a lot of the nets after a goal is scored. Defensive players going in, the puck's in the net, play is over, then they throw the extra cross-check, and there's, you know, rarely a penalty called on it. He feels that they had better start cracking down because those types of plays are not exempt from being penalized.
Well, the team that has just scored, everybody's usually relaxed. A lot of times you get a guy with his arms up in celebration. They get cross-checked from behind.
Frustration on the defensive team's part, but uncalled for. Out of the zone, Scott Stevens chases all the way back to his own line. Stevens ahead for Cicerelli. Inside the Islander line and played out to center. Scott Stevens to dump it right back in. Dave Christian knocked to the ice by Mark Bergevin. Now here's Ridley with the puck. Walks in, tries to pass, blocked by Sutter. Bergevin lobs it all the way down. 28 seconds to go now, and the penalty call to Dale Henry. Washington's power play opportunity continues. Lead pass up to center ice. Here's Pivonka across the line. Looks for Mike Ridley in the corner. Ridley tries to center. The puck cleared off the boards and all the way down. Don Beaupre leaves it there for Chris Felix. Penalty about to expire. We're in the final minute of play now in the first period. Puck cleared all the way down the ice. This will be icing. And there's the whistle. We go back to the Washington zone now with 51 seconds left in the first period. You take away the shot totals up there of 13-4, which really you have to do. You look at Washington's domination in the Islander end. Mark Fitzpatrick has come up with some big saves, but the Islanders really have done a very good job, I think, when Washington has had the power play. They haven't allowed a whole lot in there. There's been a couple that Fitzpatrick maybe got lucky on, but other than that, I think the Islanders are very happy to be in this game the way they are right now.
Well, in addition to their discipline within the box and not giving Washington the clear passing opportunities, they've been very physical. All four of their penalty killers have been taking the man whenever possible and making sure nobody for Washington has been able to set up for a deflection or rebound in front.
6 minutes of power play time thus far for the Capitals. They've spent 2 minutes and 10 seconds of that time in the offensive zone of the Islanders. In the Washington offensive zone, I should say. Here's a shot. Beaupre to save. Rebound is knocked down in front of the net. And Wickenheiser turns and clears it off the glass. Capitals have only 3 of their 13 shots tonight on the power play. Rich Pilon brings it out to center for LaFontaine. 10 seconds left in the period. Pat LaFontaine, poke check by Langway. And as time runs out, Sundstrom rushes to center and winds up to fire it in. And there's the horn to signal the end of the first period of play. No score up there on the scoreboard, but the Islanders have 5 shots on goal. Washington with 14. More hockey coverage coming your way from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, after we pause for these messages right here on the Home Team Sports Television Network.